Hello, I'm Steve Monkey Mason, and I am back with Paul Ray. We have lost Carl. That's what's happened. We are meant to do Police Academy 1 and 2 today. Carl said about an hour ago he'll get to us. And I think Carl's got narcolepsy. I think Carl has fell asleep. So Carl might join this podcast, and hopefully the plan is to do this in the Police Academy. That's the plan anyway. Hello, I'm Steve Monkey Mason, and welcome to the podcast for Groundhog's Day. I am joined with Paul Ray, and we've lost Carl. Hang on, have I not just said this?
Yeah,
Hello, I'm Steve. Hello, I'm Steve Monkey Mason, and welcome to the podcast for Groundhog's Day. And I'm joined once again with Paul Ray. He's there. We've lost Carl. We think Carl's got narcolepsy. Right, let's press play on this bad boy, yeah? So 3, 2, 1. Hello, I'm Steve Monkey Mason, and welcome to the podcast for Groundhog's Day, featuring the movie pop guy, Paul Ray. Hello?
Hi.
Hiya. So yeah, we've lost Carl, so hopefully we'll have Carl by this. I'll keep an eye on my phone. If he comes through, I'll add him. So, Columbia Pictures. So this is, do you think this has been floating around from Ghostbusters 2?
Again, Hal Ramis, so you never know, man. There's probably an idea that they've had about it, but yeah, you never know. You know what I mean? Listen.
Hal Ramis directing though, isn't it? It's what was this, 93 or something? 94?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. 93, I'm sure it was 92, 93.
But they had a big falling out over this, didn't they?
They did, yes, and not only reconciled what, like, when Hal Ramis was dying. Such a shame. The story, if I remember right, is that Bill Murray went out with a box of donuts. He went to the police station. The police guys drove him over, and then he went in with a box of donuts, and he was there for hours and hours and hours to talk about the life together. You know what I mean? Which is absolutely beautiful. And actually, reconciled and stuff like that. I mean, it's absolutely really nice. That
Documentary I've seen on Bill Murray on the plane. Like, I think it's one of the best documentaries I've ever seen. Such an inspiration. You need to check that film out. The Bill Murray stories. How he doesn't even have a mobile phone. He has an answering phone. If you want him for something, you get through to him on that. It's fucking class. But it just shows you how he turns up at people's house parties and fucking invades people's weddings photos, and just, to him, it's 10 seconds. To the person, it's a lifetime experience, and that's something that I think everybody who reaches for claim to fame and gets it should never fucking forget, no matter how bad the shit's getting. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, that documentary is amazing.
definitely.
This was heavily advertised as well, and
Murray's a kind of.
You go say?
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, this film was super heavily advertised in like the era of like Maverick and stuff like that. The trailers, you know what I mean? A peak. Oh, Rick Dukeman's in this as well. Like a peak era. Like, you would see the trailer in Groundhog's Day always had a very, very funny trailer.
Yeah, it is a good film. Like, it's one of those things I've watched every few years. And then obviously I think Sky put on Groundhog's Day, they put on all day in loop.
Well,
again and again, which is clever, like.
Fucking brilliant. Well, it's like a Mandela effect, though, isn't it? Because it's Groundhog Day, and obviously I normally say Groundhog's Day, because it's just how it rolls off your tongue.
I was going to tell. 1983 it was, mate.
Two actors in the background are famous here. So that's Chris Elliott on the right, and the lad behind him. He's also been in quite a few.
Yes.
Chris Elliott's a weird one, like, because he was in CB4, and he's, I don't know, he comes off quite slimy and all that, but again, it's like, it's character casting, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I always remember more from something about Mary than anything else.
Yeah, something about Mary is in, yeah. This guy here, I'm sure he's in, that's quite a funny thing. Andy MacDonald, not Annie MacDonald. I just know her really from Hudson Hawk. She sort of had a bit of a peak, but now she has fell a bit off the radar.
Yeah, I think again, what about Bill Murray? He's a guy. He's always.
Oh, I know, but like,
he's
never looked young, has he?
No. There's also like those rough skin and stuff like that. But
You know what's funny about Bill Murray? I always thought as a kid he looked like what's he called, man? What's he called, man? Strike It Lucky, Strike It Rich.
Michael Barrymore.
Michael Barrymore, it's that hairline, man.
It's a hot nut. What? What's what? When it comes to that.
What's that? There's someone in my pool? No. But no, I don't know. This is just a really great feel-good movie, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely like for all the family. Like you can watch it with your gran and people.
Do you not think?
It's pretty good. Like.
Do you not think it was too close to Scrooge?
Scrooge was at 89.
Yeah, but again, it's a similar. I mean, again, it is a twist off Christmas Tale, though, isn't it? It's like that, getting stuck in a loop in a time loop. It's not like the new Tim Burton film about the mysterious people who want to be in a time loop. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, there was an episode like this of the X-Files. You know, the bank robbery recently as well. So. It's great triangle of that. It's like the talent who wants more money and exposure. You've got the producer and then you've got the cameraman, like the driver man. Do you know what I mean? Who like wants to be the main man. It's well done.
Yeah, definitely. It's a nice little small town too, isn't it?
Well, is it? It's used for something else. Is it not the same town from Back to the Future?
No, I don't think it's the Back to the Future lot. No, that's a proper. Well, you know what?
I think you need to check that out. Like, if you've got access to the internet, Puxatawny. I would have a look at that because I'm sure it's been used as another town. This bit here.
And the
it's either that.
Munster Squad.
It's either that or.
Quick look for you.
Surprised Dan Aykroyd hasn't got some kind of cameo. That would have been an interesting concept.
Yeah, just like a pop on for 2 seconds and that. But it is like they said all as cast. Said Andy think that well for ages. But you can tell it's definitely like 90s.
Well, she was famous for Four Weddings and a Funeral. Is it the year after or something?
I think 94 wasn't it?
So she had Hudson Hawk. She had this.
No, she was in Ready or Not from last year. Didn't you recognise her in that?
Oh, I tell you what I watched last night. By the way, The Wizard. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, I know. I've messaged people in a group. Oh, we should have did something about The Wizard. We could have watched that. It's such a good film. Like, it's just shame it's never came out on DVD over here.
California.
Go to the Pee-wee thing.
The bit on the King Kong ride, man, it's fucking tremendous.
Yeah, I love that Universal.
God, man, even the bin's got a groundhog on the back. So, have you found out what it was in?
No, just a no. Don't think it's even a set.
I'm sure it's a real town. Either that or Silver Bullet. Totally reminds me of Silver Bullet, the town. Paul's doing some research.
Yep. It's yeah, nothing's popping on by the looks of it. Got out the town square set.
I know that the town they used for What About Bob, which I only watched a few nights ago as well with Bill Murray. Again, that's probably be the year before this. That entire town's fucking a ghost town now.
Really? Bob. Baby steps. Not many people know about him.
Again, it's kind of just, you know what I mean? It was one of those ones what came down to distribution on VHS. This guy here, he's in like Armageddon and stuff on the stairs.
do you not think the hallway mask? Do you know when they look
Oh,
for shotgun?
the clock and all that, yeah, looks the same like that, yeah.
Bit of a Ghostbuster reference there. The mask with a Ghostbuster firehouse.
Well, she's the grandma from American Pie: The Wedding.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. But that guy who came up the street, he had quite a I think he bowled quite early on, but I'm sure he's in like Down Periscope, and he was in he's a guy in when they're Armageddon, when he gets sucked up when he's on the machine drilling.
Right. Bill Murray can do anything, can't he? I mean, a lot of art films, yes, but he can do what he wants.
Yeah.
The Murray thing just does it just for fun.
I would say to the end of the 90s, Bill Murray's stuff like films that really felt The Man Who Knew Too Little and stuff like that. He made some films that, like, what's the one with the elephant?
Dumbo or something like that.
Huh?
Or Operation.
No, not Operation Dumbo. There's one where he's sitting on a suitcase with an elephant on the front cover. He like had this run of stuff in the late 90s that sort of flopped, and then he sort of went into the arty-farty stuff in the 2000s, didn't he?
Yeah,
especially
Larger Than Life it was called.
Oh, Larger Than Life. But like stuff like this guy here is in Sneakers. Have you seen that? My voice is my passport.
He's in Goldbergs and everything, man. This guy, Phil.
Ned Ryerson. Bing. It's fucking class, like.
But actually, yeah, going back to about Scrooge, you're actually right, because he actually helps. Doesn't he help like a homeless person? He does, doesn't he? The guy just passed. Oh, I'm just thinking Scrooge. I'm Scrooged.
As well as this, though, if you think about the idea and the concept of this, the idea that, you know, he's an outline for the script, he's some skits and stuff like that, but, like, it's not like you would film one scene, go off and film the rest, and the next day do it all again. You get the camera set up, you get everyone rehearsed, and then you keep on doing it till you think you've got the best take, then move on to like the next day and what you're going to do better. And a lot of improv's going to come out like this guy here. How many times he Ned Ryerson, and like you film it different ways and stuff like that. And it's an interesting concept of how to do a film, as long as you've got a really good script in hand and a lot of good like outline. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The editing was awkward on this film. Like I said, I probably shot every scene that I had to with the actors there and then, so to get the right cues, to get the right way to stand.
Yeah.
So you
Boosh.
probably do this times. You know what I mean? We had to stop in that like a million times. Cobbler's knob.
Oh, you must be a little seconds ahead of us. I've just got the cobbler's knob.
I will be.
He's walking up there. I'm telling you, this place is like, it's like Silver Bullet. This little town square bit. I mean, this is what the nation's like at the minute, waiting for like the sorry folks, another 8 weeks of lockdown. Everyone.
Definitely. Oh, that the camera, that the camera guy is a better cam.
Aye. I've got a camera like that, you know.
Yeah, he was like a better feature one, isn't it?
It's like
what annoys me more than anything else, when you're watching a Sony film, it's just everything Sony product placement, which is fine, but that's just really self-advertising, really, isn't it?
Well, that's it, though. I mean, half the time you got to get clearance on everything, you know what I mean? That's what I think about the late 80s and early 90s. It wasn't really established. I mean, it's kind of like going running around Universal Studios and the right sponsorship. It all comes up now. I mean, we would never get a Roger Rabbit, you know what I mean, for when that was made, for just because of like who owns what and who owns how. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. Having Disney characters as characters, definitely not.
I mean, as I hit here, I mean,
Roger Rabbit.
But again, though, this guy's shooting on a bloody television camera and it's giving you the Handycam home cinema camera, you know what I mean? Recording. Like, that shit doesn't show up unless you've got that burnt into your tape. It's not like you being framed.
Yeah. Really just actually getting that, isn't it, on your phone? You know, if they're recorded and have like the yeah, you're right, like the little viewfinder thing, I hate that so much.
I mean, if you had like the details on, I mean, the tape code, the battery life, the record, I mean, back in the day you had that on, but if you recorded that, it burns onto the tape and you ain't getting that off. I mean, now digitally you could probably do it, but now it's just like, that shit doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get this idea as well. They've got the gathering there. I mean, this guy's going to tell you there's 8 weeks of winter. I mean, could you get away with this now? Because, like, everyone will just check Google. I mean, the thing is, you can't predict the fucking weather now, can you?
They still have... I think they will, you just do it just a show. Like a tradition, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a tradition of Philadelphia, yeah. I mean, there's stuff like this is... appeared in like the CKY movies with all them living in Philadelphia and stuff, so it's a Philadelphia thing, I think, being made world famous by this movie as well. So but the thing is, he's not
just like one take and...
Yeah, but that's the thing about him is, though, he's not like he hasn't done anything wrong or he's done something to trap him in the day till he gets it right. I mean, in the X-Files episode, it's a bank robbery that goes wrong with an explosion, and every day Mulder keeps reliving it. And, you know, I mean, it's quite an ordeal to actually do that in a 40-minute TV episode, you know what I mean? I mean, how many times do you restart the whole script? But I think as once... Like, I love some of the montages that come up. I mean, we get the introduction here of the day, and you see him, he's just sort of like, he doesn't appreciate what he's got, and I think that's what this film's trying to, a positive message about, appreciate what you've got.
Definitely, I totally 100% agree with you. Like, it is a good film.
I mean, that's like, now that would all be done with CGI. I mean, that doesn't look like real snow, but again, it's like... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's fine. And he keeps doing the moisture thing and the weather outside the thing. He does a good job showing it. It's cool though, doesn't he?
Bill Murray, man, he just fucking nails it, like.
Yeah. It's true what I say about Bill Murray. They said they just talk about Ghostbusters. They put him on a script. They said it's definitely going to happen. Yeah, it's definitely going to happen. Just film it, and he turns up like a day of shooting or filming. And he just turned up. He went from Paris. He just turns up like Afterlife. He wasn't going to do it, and he was, and then he just turned up. All right, let's come and do this.
You please tell me you're going to watch that Bill Murray film tonight.
Well, I'll see what happens tonight. Like, see what time and stuff is.
Because honestly, mate, like I was on the aeroplane and like you had all these films sitting there in front of us, and you know, you get to the point where I think I was on a 17-hour flight, right? And I was like, my God, is this ever going to fucking end? And like you're setting off in the daytime, and then it becomes the nighttime, and it's just like And I put this Bill Murray thing on, and I've never, like, I was glued to it. For that moment in time when I was watching that documentary, I wasn't on an aeroplane, do you know what I mean? It wasn't the 12th hour of my trip. It was so inspirational, like. Even his character there, Chris Elliott. In the bar.
Right.
Now the shower's just happened there. Ooh.
In the corridor.
No, he's still in the shower.
Right.
Pause it.
Yeah.
He's just jumped out. Now it's a corridor.
Yep. That corridor still looks like some shit. Now, how much do you think they paid for this song? I Got You, Babe, because it's the only song I really realised from the film.
The thing is, I Got You, Babe, I tell you what, they would have got the money's worth of it.
Definitely. But you said the concept to be precise. Precise in the site, you know what I mean? The right plane. You know what I mean? And
Again, though, with Bill Murray, though, because he's quite a really good improv actor as well, like, once you've got the rehearsals down, and you know what I mean? Again, going back to it being a well-plotted out script and all that, it's really, like, you know what I mean?
But obviously, obviously, when he looks out the window, that is just the footage from the
Oh,
from
yeah,
the
yeah.
day before, so that's a bit easier to do.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it?
But then again, though, if you look at stuff like this, is probably easy enough done. Like in this scene, again, here's a perfect example. He comes out, guy comes up the stairs. You've got that actor there, maybe it's for what, 2 days max, do you think? A week probably he's there for rehearsals, you know, in the rehearsal and stuff like that. He's a big guy pushing up against the wall. But like the scene where he gets to like where they're going to do the Groundhogs thing there, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Well, the extras and all that kind of, it's almost like you would like the True Moon show when everyone's on the marks ready to go. That's a lot of people to control.
Exactly. I know. Go back, do it again. Go back, do it again. Obviously, they change it throughout the film, but obviously they'll film that one and then for the entire segment, which and move on to, like I said, the guy on the step. That bit again and again and again until they finish with the shoot, really, and edit it all together. So it must have been so hard to do.
It would have been hard to do if they had to go back and refilm stuff like, oh shit, how many slices of toast were in the toaster? But even there, like Bill Murray, you can see Bill Murray's reflection. If you've seen his face full on in the background in the glass, you know what I mean? You've got to remember you've got all the crew and all that, and you've got to keep an eye on reflections and alternative angles. This film is so quotable as well because of the trailer. Are you checking out today? Absolutely. Are you checking out today? Maybe it's tomorrow.
Good film as well, didn't it?
Groundhog's Day.
I was going to ask you about that.
Are you going to ask us about that? Yeah.
Groundhogs. Yeah.
Ned Ryerson.
Bang.
Now the old guy always dies though, doesn't he? He can't save the old guy.
The homeless guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was thinking of like Scrooged and stuff at the same time. I was like, what? But yeah, I think you're kind of right. Similarity is a little bit.
I mean, just to talk about that as well, though, depending on if this is a real street and a location, the guy in the background that's directing traffic, you just seen him before and that. I mean, he might be a genuine like guy directing traffic while they film this, because that's a pretty big thing to shut down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think we won't really notice backgrounds or anything else. I mean, they'll just watch Bill Murray and that's it. I mean, the people in front of him just walked past before. They may be completely different people from the day before for me to notice it. But obviously, if you pick it out, they'll be perfectly. Yeah. To be honest, even the camera angles is right. I think.
But that's it, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. They just must do take after take after. Just do it throughout the.
And this will probably be before they did like. I mean, that's a crane shot there because you can tell how much it comes up on the floor. Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
We'll have a Mr. Call. Oh, I've just pooed myself because I was leaning forward. Oop.
Fuzzy knuckles.
No. I've leaned too far forward, mate. We may have a boxer short to pick up. So it looks like Mr. Carl's going to be joining us, and I'll get him back. There's a guest. Hello. Like Carl has just joined us on a podcast. We are watching Groundhog's Day.
It's 5 o'clock.
It's past 5 o'clock.
I apologise for my tardiness. I had unexpected family turn up outside my house.
Well, you know.
Been talking to them for a while, so I didn't even have my phone on us.
Well, that's the most important thing, family and friends, man, don't you worry. Are you joining us on this podcast, or are we kicking you back out?
I mean, I'm worried about if I've missed any important.
No, day one.
Very often, does it?
He's only he's only started.
Day one.
He's on day 2 now.
Right. So how do we feel about this? Are we big fans, or is it something that we only seen once? I don't know.
Oh, I'm a big fan of Groundhog's Day. Own it on Blu-ray. Never picked up the Steelbook. Steelbook was knocking around for a while.
Yeah, I never picked that one up myself, actually, funny enough. I've got the, it's a HMV line.
Oh, the white label. Well, like, so like Das Boot and Stand By Me and stuff.
Well, I'm going to say I've only got the good ones then, so... what was it, Boy in the Hood? No, actually, that's funny enough, I need to get that one, funny enough. I've got Boy in the Hood, I've got Groundhog Day, and I've got Stand By Me.
Nah, it's like Bridge over the River Kwai and on the waterfront and stuff. So you really wouldn't put Groundhog's Day in that cutting category.
Yeah, well, true. It's a really odd one, but no, I love this film. But I was curious to ask you. I mean, obviously, there's been the folklore or the myth of how long Phil is actually in a loop. And do we have any? I mean, I've always heard 10,000 years as a joke, but do we have any opinions?
No,
That's a good question, that actually.
Not about that.
Rabbit said one thing originally, but then he went back, and I think Rabbit's one said it was only 10 years. But then I'm sure someone turned around and said, "Oh no, he changed his story a couple of years later."
Yeah.
I mean,
that was clever before when he snapped the pencil and put it one side, so he's thinking something's not up here. So that's a good little sign.
Alright, day 3, Carl, have you joined us on the poddy?
Yeah, I'm still working on that, but I'm going to catch up with you.
Well, Paul, there's the lass with the red bag again. Like, at the end of the day, it's a really clever trick because, like, it's a very, like, a dull colour and she's got a bright red bag. Oh.
Yeah.
Pushing Ned Ryerson away again. My voice is my passport.
I suppose in VHS you don't really notice stuff like that, so...
Oh, the puddle again. Again, though, there's a different angle, though, of him trying to get through.
Yeah.
I could say, did you pick any of this up when you were kids watching this? Because I know I didn't.
I think where the trailer was, like, laugh out loud comedy, but you don't look at, he's, like, that was the thing then, for me personally at that age, because, like, Bill Murray's just stuck in the same day. You don't look at, like, the reasons why, and then, as you've just pointed out, how long. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I was going to say, I would have thought of, like, maybe a few days.
I think for me, it's a guy from Ghostbusters.
Yeah, well, Bill Murray again, it's a guy from Ghostbusters again. What About Bob was a bit more, I'd seen that, and like, looking back now, I find that film even more funnier, but like, it's not like a laugh out loud comedy, but it's just so well done, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But again, we talked about Bill Murray, how he had these big hits here, and then sort of fell into like paycheck comedies. Like stuff like, Space Jam. He had Space Jam, Larger Than Life, The Man Who Knew Too Little. He had them kind of movies before he went into the arty-farty ones. Was it Wes Anderson he got friendly with?
Yeah, and Francis Ford Coppola and stuff like that. Well,
that's his daughter, innit?
Yeah, I think Transylvania, I was so bored of first seat.
I've heard good things about that.
That's Rick Dugerman there. He's from The Burbs, Gremlins 2. He was recently in, he's a school teacher in California, man.
Listen. And Die Hard. He's the engineer in Die Hard, isn't he? Just the power down.
Oh, yeah, but he died not long after this.
Yeah. And I never noticed that he was in this.
Well, he's a stand-up comedian. And here's Harold Ramis.
I think I might be a few seconds ahead.
But
You could see them on screen together, though.
again though, like this is only a couple of years after Ghostbusters, and he is a lot bigger than Ghostbusters 2.
Mate, he's like race that Ghostbusters put together.
I mean, these guys had a lot of histories with. I mean, that totally looks like Adrian Brody. It's not though, is it?
No.
It looks like Adrian Brody.
The guidance boys, what sort of time frame are we looking at? I know you said what day we're on, but if I'm on my Blu-ray, I'm trying to think what
28 minutes.
29 minutes and 21 seconds.
So mine's 28.
Right, so that's chapter what? That's gonna go back a little bit.
He's on the couch in the therapist's office.
Adrian Brody's office.
That'll be me in a few weeks' time. But it's weird seeing Halvin Ramis without his glasses on, isn't it?
Yeah, he looks blind as a boot.
I didn't realise he was in this so often.
Oh, Rick Dukerman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not joking, I did not recognise him until before this. He's in the bar now, Carl.
Right, okay.
The bowling alley.
There's another film of this era that was trailered to fuck. Oh, maybe it was a couple of years after this, but like Pleasantville, roll safer in a bowling alley. But there's like certain movies of this era that were trailered, Maverick, Groundhog's Day. Like, you know when they used to have that yellow font at the bottom of the trailer? All the way through it.
Yeah. I did not recognise he was in this at all. It's been years since I've seen this film.
I want to talk to you something about drink driving in America, because it's like, it's almost over here. I mean, I've had in my entire life, and I was a bit flunky about it. I had 2 sips out of a can of beer, and my mate needed a lift, and I was like, I've had 2 sips of beer, I can't drive. And that is the only ever time I've ever drove with alcohol in my system. But like, I wasn't over the limit, do you know what I mean? I only had 2 drinks, like, of a can.
Yeah.
And in America, it's kind of like common. Is it DUI? They get a lot over there. And a lot of people, a lot of people just, it doesn't seem to have like, I mean, it's zero tolerance in New Zealand, but like, it's just like, I was watching an episode of the X-Files last night, and he was like drinking at the bar, and he's like, yeah, I'll drive you home, and there's like loads of stuff like that keeps happening, like, you know what I mean? There just doesn't seem to be like much restraint of people driving under the influence.
I feel like, especially in this film, it's a lot to do with the fact that they all live in very small towns. So I reckon in terms of like, if you're driving from the bar to your house, that would probably be like, what would be 5-10 minutes for us if we were to drive, or if we generally don't like live in such smaller areas like that.
Definitely. What was your first memory of the film? Was it on VHS, was it?
Is this me?
Obviously VHS, yeah.
Mine's just trailer of VHS. It was a weird time.
Like renting from a shop?
Yeah, renting from the shop. It was like kind of like you were waiting for the movies to come out, and like you would, obviously it was big in the day, but like it's just seemed to be advertised on so many films, because DVD shops would normally like get a lot of copies of the same distributor, and obviously back then they were trying to go, right, the new Bill Murray movie's coming out and all that. It wasn't paid placement. They were like, right, Bill Murray's got a new film coming out. This is the same year as Demolition Man. It's the same year as stuff like My Life with Michael Keaton, like that kind of Police Academy 7. These are all films around the same era, like Ace Ventura, where they were like, right, these are the films, and you would get them all on the same like set. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trapped in Paradise.
Sorry?
They're caught now.
They're on the track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trapped in Paradise was another film of this era that was so trailered on so many stuff. Another film as well was Clean Slate. You guys ever seen that with Dana Carvey, and where he forgets every day when he goes to sleep?
Is it detective or something? Or
Yeah. Again,
God,
it's,
I haven't seen it yet. It's No March of the Skies. I love that film. Have you seen that?
turtle.
Anyway, Groundhog's Day. Have you seen Groundhog's Day now?
Groundhog Day.
Yeah, you got me seen Groundhogs. Have you seen Groundhogs?
It's a Bernstein thing. We've talked about this. It's a Mandela effect.
Yep.
This is where he orders the cheeseburger.
Gosh, make me hungry. Bill Murray. We were just saying. Bill Murray. Yeah, he's always looked old, isn't he?
Yeah, he's never looked young. Even in Stripes.
I think it's his hairstyle. Dude had that same hairstyle no matter what.
The Michael Barrymore.
Before toast you. May as well just in the background, make sure it's right every time he wakes up.
Yep, there she is again. The one Stifler bangs.
Now, talking about Hal Ramis and Bill Murray, how the like film, and obviously before he died, I went up to see him, and became friends again for a little bit.
I mean, Christ, that must have been a big falling out, like.
Do we know what it was about?
No, I just think doing this filming.
Oh, is this when he punches? Oh, this is where he punches him. Again, going off the trailer. But even there, the guy with the blue jacket on keeps giving the guy the money. He's been in every scene, correct?
Yeah.
God, that puddle drop. You mean you could imagine if you walked in there and broke your ankle? That's Paul. That's going to be you. That you've lost all. You've got 98 pounds. You've lost, and you'd be like, right, it's fucking on today.
Like you said, well, he's going to be like Ben Stiller from Dutch Bomber.
I tell you something though, especially with being back in New Zealand, the lack of milkshakes in this country, like a thick shake and a fucking milkshake and all the different flavours and all that kinds of shit. I totally missed that. Over here, we've got strawberry, chocolate, vanilla. It's like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah. Oh, God. It looks so tasty. Oh.
I've never understood that, even as an ex-smoker. I've never understood when people smoke and eat at the same time.
Oh, it's brutal.
Makes no sense.
It's like someone who smokes in bed. It's like, no!
Yeah.
If any place I've ever wanted to eat loads of food, it's the scene in Hook.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean,
Horrible.
it's A-number central, like, but absolutely.
It's just bloody colouring, isn't it?
Why?
I just love it, just has a wiped his mouth or anything. Yeah, he's
How many
smoking.
takes did I say?
Well, we were talking about this before you joined the cast. It's like you get the scenes set up, and that would have been it for a couple of days. You know what I mean? Get the rehearsals down, and then you're finally happy with that take, and then you move on to like the next day, and you just take after take after take, move on to the next day, and like it would have been a lot for editing, I think.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And they clearly were paying attention to, like, continuity and stuff like that, so...
Oh, script
been,
supervisor would have been all of it,
magnifying
yeah. Like the script supervisor, like literally would have been taking Polaroids, because that's what they did then. It would have been Polaroids of pictures and their jobs to go around and check it.
Don't always have a continuity person on set or something.
Yeah, script supervisor, continuity. Maybe sometimes it's one person. They have assistants, but yeah.
Now these days, before just talking about before, these days you wouldn't have a made us like him in the family.
You wouldn't have what, Paul?
Someone looking in the family he was doing before.
Hmm.
Not these days. What you'll do is eat food and pick up ladies.
And it starts all over again. Oh, there she is.
What would you do if you had a day after day after? May as well just casting out the same thing every day.
Well, I would hope that it would happen where, you know what I mean, like in a town that something was happening. Because to be honest with you, we're living in Groundhog's Day at the moment, man. Every day is the fucking same. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna say at least he's got the freedom to go outside and do stuff. Wouldn't be too bad.
I mean, at the end of the day, to be honest with you, how he's chatted her up, it's genius. Like, every day you try it, and it is a montage later on, and, you know, it's kind of like, again though, she's like, sort of like, he chats her up, he sort of abuses her, he knows how, like, if he, like, you know what I mean, if he needs sex and all this 10 years he's been there, he just goes to her, but obviously trying to win the love of, Andy McDowell in this is, like, where it's really at as well, so...
Because you'll just know, if you live there for 10 years, you'll know about every single person. You're like a god, really.
It's true, but then, I mean, obviously this is for the film effect, but, I mean, 10 years, I mean, you've got to go slightly insane.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see, you're going to pretty much crash at some point, I reckon.
Well, it's like, have you seen that new Tim Burton film about the school?
Which one? No.
Miss Parbar's Penguins. School of Particular...
I know what you're on about. Yeah, I know what you're on about. I never saw it.
Because that's she creates a time bubble, and they're stuck in like something like the 1940s, and then the new kid, who everywhere I look at the moment just seems to be in anything, he's in Slaughter High.
I know exactly who you're about.
He can walk through this portal, and he like comes back, and they're just reliving the same day over and over again.
I didn't know if it was. I thought it was more like an X-Men kind of film. Like
No,
all of them have got.
It's about these people who have extraordinary powers, but then Samuel L. Jackson, who's kicking white hair and white eyes, going around eating kids' eyeballs to get more powerful. So they all live in these time loop bubbles.
Now, this bitch here, what else did he...
What's that, Paul? You breaking up?
Same way when he robs the truck, who are walking out there, they couldn't get fired on it. Screwed people.
Another film that, because we were talking about this, Carl, at the very start, this like little location, it looks like it's from so many other films. Silver Bullet's definitely one of them.
Right.
A film that obviously I think could exist in this universe is Hard Rain, the whole money thing. The truck, I love that movie.
Yeah.
Heidi 2. Check out the car. Oh, he turns up as fucking Clint Eastwood, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Blondie.
I mean, it's a way to spend money.
I mean, it makes sense of like... Look at the woman in the booth just staring at him. Don't look at the camera, I'll just stare at Bill Murray.
Yeah, that's what I'm being told, isn't it?
Your
She's
big,
focusing so hard.
it's your big moment, baby. What are you going to do? Again, those subtle little things about seeing her again, and like, she doesn't know who he is, you know what I mean? It's quite clever.
Yeah.
Can you guys remember those Sony Tron TVs from the 90s?
Well,
Which ones?
Sony Tron. You see that, you know, just before where the screens are just being the Sony TVs, aren't there, little screens?
Mhm.
There's like Trinitron. Basically, the Sony's like TVs in the 90s, and like widescreen TVs.
I mean,
Before widescreen was like everywhere.
I mean, they've got a fucking lazy boy in the back of their fucking camera
I
truck
was just
van.
about to say that's a pretty nice chair for the back of a van, like, isn't it?
So now the film starts to show a little bit of interest in her.
I've always found her to be very simple, pretty. Very pretty girl, but like, there's nothing massive about her. Like, you wouldn't see her like starring her own film.
Well, I
Sure, she's
think,
done a couple of ones.
I mean, she was in, we're talking about Hudson Hawk, Four Weddings and a Funeral. I think that made her internationally famous. And then stuff like Michael, when John Travolta's got angel wings or something, and she plays a very similar role to this.
Right.
But the films like that have just been lost to the test of time now.
I think I've seen that one. Rings a bell.
That was in John Travolta. I mean, another film that was trailed to fuck John Travolta, phenomenal, where he can change stuff with his minds and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that with Sandra Bullock in it?
No, that's the similar name. That's Premonition or something, isn't it?
Michael, the angel one.
Michael's the angel one, yeah.
Yeah.
See, even there's the lass at the background. Obviously, he's dated before, and she's out of focus, just standing up in the background. Again, I think, you know, it's attention to detail is great.
Bill Murray just looks like teammate in Ghostbusters 1. It's unbelievable.
That's what we're talking about with Kurt Russell, though. Like, you have a fucking love for a film like Big Trouble in Little China, and then you see Tango and Cash, which you haven't seen for years, and you think, fuck me, it's Kurt Russell from, you know what I mean? It's not just Kurt Russell, it's Kurt Russell from that era, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dum dum dum.
I was just checking on something and I've just noticed, apparently in that last diner scene where he was stuffing his face, apparently he was in fact offered a spit bucket, but he said no, and apparently the angel food cake made him quite particularly sick afterwards.
Maybe that's what our argument about.
That could be it. Offered a spit bucket.
I mean,
Because you went to see Hal Ramis with some donuts.
I mean, it's nothing frustrating
Well,
for
it's something unique though, because they were well known to getting on with people on set, weren't they? So it must have been something quite unique. But then again, I would say your connection there with that, they're good friends, and as you know, like working with friends can't always be as easy as you want it to be.
Yeah, so obviously that was like a cut that he went and just did the same thing, so obviously that's showing you there's only one day gone, isn't it? Another day gone.
So another day gone, yeah.
it's an interesting
That's very
second
clever.
act of the movie, like.
They're bringing it in straight away.
And again, it's really well balanced about introducing new characters, but then obviously stuff like the old man and how it goes back to other characters as well. So it's a really good film. How it's done.
Again, yeah. So that'd be what, 1, 2, 3. We should count these. How many days have been? Mind.
Well, when it hits the montage, that's it. Drink the world peace. We.
Well, IMDb does say that there is exactly 38 days depicted in the film, either partially or in full. So I've just saved your job, Paul, sorry.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, just didn't want you to rewind it and that and have to go back.
Start counting.
Rewind it. Like your those VHS days.
Again, though, that's why you know the trailers so well, because back in the day, you didn't fast forward trailers. You couldn't be fucking bothered.
No. You don't get much trailers on films these days, do you?
Oh man,
no.
I watched a Nicolas Cage film yesterday called Trespassing and it had 7 trailers on.
But they're low budget though, aren't they? So they have to make the money somewhere.
Trespass is actually a Joel Schumacher film, and it was a YouTube premiere.
Really?
Nicolas Cage, Nicole Kidman.
Premiere, what do I feel about YouTube Premiere? Because when you think of the world of streaming, YouTube being as big as it is, and I only heard about YouTube Premiere for the first time last year, and it was only because I wanted to watch Cobra Kai. They
Yeah.
haven't done any kind of
That's very well
serious
done.
marketing or like making it so that people know what it is.
Oh my god, right, so Steins like that, right? I went out with Bell, Barney and Chambers, and like my friend Chambers, he's fucking funny. Like, he didn't even know about the coronavirus because he doesn't have a television or the internet. And he was, do you want to go for a pint? And Bell was like, oh, we can't. Who, why not? He's because of the coronavirus. And he's like, what's that? So like, he's totally off the grid, Chambers, right? He's fucking daft as fuck, like. But I love him a bit. And I was actually talking to him just before I was talking to you guys. And we all went out in Newcastle, and like, we got to the first bar, and Barney was just kind of like, because I hadn't seen Barney for a long time, but that's a different story. And we go, oh, we're going to go rounds. And of course, I drink in Newcastle quite often. And there's the Stein bar again. So basically, Barney got the first round. We went down we started off about Central Station. We ran around the corner to like another bar. My round, no, it was Bell's round at the Yates's. And so again, we're talking about, I think, between £15 and £20 a round. Chambers, on the other hand, goes, all right, the next bar we're going to go into, haha, I'll be the cheap one, do you know what I mean? He's got this kind of attitude, like, funny attitude, like, oh yes, I'm going to get the cheap bar. And we went into the Stein bar, and he went to the toilet, and Barney was like, right, I'll order the beers. And like, we ordered 4 Steins. And Chambers comes back, and the woman went, right, that's 38 quid. And I've never seen somebody go as white as I've fucking seen. He was like, what? But like, they were already in front of him. He's like, what? And like, I ended up, because my round would have been next, I ended up chipping in £20 just to like fill that round up for him. But honest to God, it was fucking crazy. But after that bar, a Stein of like Stella just had us fucking on another level, like.
Is that the one that used to be the vault?
When you go downstairs.
You go downstairs. I've been in there once, and I was a lad who didn't know what it was, and we went in, and obviously we said, I'll go and get the pints in that, and when we came back with him, he was absolutely like floored. He's such a small lad as well. He's like kind of sluggish for him. So like, if he barely got through his, and he was absolutely mortal by the end of it.
I mean, I've got a Stein pint glass in the house, but like, I kind of like, you know, like, it's a lot to drink, like, but again, it makes sense to do it, but.
I'm going to say, what's the equivalent of? Is it probably about maybe 3-4 pints?
I would say it's borderline 3 pints. I would say 2.5 to 3. But again, it's fucking. You just don't get it that often. But again, my mate's face was fucking brilliant. Like, I mean, by the time we got to Rise and seen Sluggy and all that, we were absolutely fucking hammered. Like,
yeah.
So a bit of romance in the snow there. Another film you did this time as well, Edward. He has a cameo in that.
Edward?
Tim Burton.
Oh, very nice. What the fuck's that? What part was he in? I remember him, but...
He's later on, just a small role.
Yeah, was I?
Are you still there, Paul Ray?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm still there.
It's called gone.
No,
I
apologize.
someone tried to ring us, so I don't know if you were wondering. I was pressing buttons.
Do you not think this as well?
Just a little cry there.
This looks a bit like Gremlins and stuff. Like that kind of 80s lighting up stuff.
I was just thinking that. Yeah.
I love it how she's wearing a
Give us some
waistcoat.
sugar, baby. I don't know if I see them these days.
I prefer to wear a waistcoat. I don't like wearing a shirt.
Have you seen Quick Change before? Where he plays like a robber dressed as a clown and they're trying to get out of New York and it all goes wrong.
Oh, it's a really old one, that, isn't it?
Yeah. Not many people remember that one, but...
Oh, just to give a shout out, it was Carl's birthday yesterday. So in between us recording Turtles and them damn sea vampires and this, it was Carl's birthday yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday, Colin. I'm so sorry, mate.
You part of the lockdown crew with me?
I was sitting waiting for it, but I mean, after like 11 o'clock at night, I felt, you know, he's kind of selfish that way, so I accepted it. Don't worry about it.
Oh man, I'm so sorry, mate. Got a lot on. I'm so sorry.
Alright, mate. You were doped up.
Please forgive it. I'll buy you a fibre bar or something.
I was gonna say Steven sent us the best meme, like, so it's funny because I used the same meme on someone else earlier on. It's a bloke sitting on his bed with a candle stuck in a massive multi-pack of toilet roll.
But he's got his mask on.
It's what it is, man. COVID birthday. It was really funny because people say, "Oh, I hope you had a great day." I was like, "What the fuck do you want it to do?" So, we've been in lockdown for like 8 weeks. I was like, I understand the sentiment of the message, but you know, there's really not much I could have done. I mean, I pretty much played PS4 all day, to be honest with you, and I haven't done that for ages. So.
I mean, I only got like one present on my birthday, and that was my mum came around and chucked us that Jaws poster, and even then she just sort of javelin at us. But that was the day I did the Rear Window review of us all in.
Yes. It was an interesting way to spend your birthday, mate.
Well, that's it. It was a kind of like keep myself motivated with that because it had quite a lot of layers at their video, so.
Yeah.
I like how now he's making a list like in his head of things that she doesn't like, and obviously when the kids stop playing snowballs, it just kind of hurries up, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's like losing patience. Oh, there's a kids. Yeah, there's 4 snowballs. Yeah. Then.
But again, though, like, you imagine that though. He spends all his time getting to know her, and they break up the next day, no matter what happens.
Yeah. Thing is strange though, isn't it? Because it's literally one of the few things that he can do, yet doesn't make him more of a villain. You know, like you say, like you went for that one woman because he knew we'd get his leg over.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. It's like, did that make him a bad guy? Like manipulating people to his own advantage. But then you kind of feel sympathy for him because you think, well, he's got nothing else to do other than just kind of entertain himself.
Well, it's like there as well when he's chucking snowballs. Should there have been a scene where he just absolutely hits them all square in the face because he knows where they're going to be? Just like. But there, look, it's again. He's like anxious. He's waiting for the kiss, and he comes to slap a fawn.
Nose must really hurt them.
Has anyone been slapped by a woman before?
Yep.
Oh yes, I have actually.
Been punched by a woman, but not slapped.
There's some good slaps in the archive of Better and FA. Like,
Aye.
we used to do banger slaps. We used to have like the bangers you used to chuck on the floor, and then you slap somebody in the face with them. That's quite funny. He's going in the oppression mode now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's hit the wall.
I still love the shot, like, you know, when, I don't think you guys are into it yet, like, with the clock and the time just goes down, but it's so slow.
Oh, here it is, yeah, like a phantom shot.
It's basically, it is like us at the moment. It's like 9 o'clock, and it's like, bang, here we'll go again, same thing.
But that's, I mean,
dramatic.
I mean, last night was probably the first night I really struggled to sleep, and I think I watched about 8 X-Files episodes. Like, literally, I was getting, gotta sleep. Now I don't. And you just lie in there and you just can't sleep. I've never got that show, by the way, Jeopardy. Because you've got to answer you've got to give them the question, haven't you?
Yeah. I love this. It's so funny. Because you've seen that many times. Because obviously all the stations will just have the same stuff on every day.
I want popcorn.
Starting to scare her as well.
Popcorn and drink, by the looks of it.
But see, look at the Jack Daniels label cleverly hidden.
Absolutely. Products of stone up. That's Jim Beam, actually.
No, that was Jack Daniels.
With Jim Beam, sponsor.
It was definitely Jack Daniels.
I mean, the bottle itself is more curved than a Jack Daniels bottle, but if you look at the label, honestly.
All right, then.
Pause it right when it-
I don't drink whiskey, so I don't know. Sorry, it's a bourbon anyway.
Hey. Right, boys, calm down, boys. Come on. Cole's birthday yesterday, pardon.
Hello, I'm Steve Monkey Mason, and welcome to the podcast for.
I'm not joking. He did that 7 times at the start. Really? Yeah.
But I didn't tell Paul I was going to do it. He was like,
I'm not enjoying it, did it? I was like, I'm just going to let him go. I'm too tired to complain, I'm just going to let him go. Just let it happen.
I bet that hurt his hand doing that, you know.
Oh.
Hello, I'm Steve Monkey Mason, and welcome to the podcast for Groundhog's Day. We have the movie pop guy Paul Ray, and Carl has finally joined us on day 32 of the clock smashing. And they've gone. The 5ish o'clock shadow is a good attention to detail as well there, because he's like hasn't even bothered shaving in the morning.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we've passed the hour 12 mark.
Because when Cole joined us.
I'm going to say I'm only on 36 minutes at the moment.
So after we recorded them damn sea vampires, if you're listening to any order, we ended up almost filming another podcast. How long we actually kept on talking about the evolution of formats, which is something we're going to revisit. Not very quickly though, because like I think we need to like woo-saw a bit, because it was starting to get a bit heated. Everyone was to say, this format, that format, my collection.
we were like teenage girls on the phones, on our beds, talking about stuff. Boring stuff. Uh-oh.
Oh, he steals Phil.
Phil?
So this is the first time he can't die though, isn't it? This is like, he's become suicidal enough to like, you know, to like realising like he cannot die now, which even makes him more dangerous in a way, because he's just reckless for the whole day.
Oh, but I totally see him change straight away as soon as he realises he can't die. That's when you see he flips almost like you say, a little bit more psychotic.
Obviously, you guys watch it on Blu-ray, aren't you? And I'm watching it on HD and that. It doesn't really. It looks alright, but it's one of those films that you just wouldn't really. I mean,
I think it's a very drained colour looking movie. The colour palette's very drained in general.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's one of those films that I think would spoil it if it was actually like sharpened and the colours were vibrant and stuff like that. Like, this is one of those films that I would definitely put in that category of, you know, a film should look a certain way. Like, I don't want an old film from the 80s looking like it was made yesterday. I feel like that's part of the character for me in any way. So I was looking at this when I put that Blu-ray on. I did think, to be honest with you, I thought it's still a bit grainy, a little bit kind of dated, but I actually liked it that way. I wouldn't want it the other way.
So you like America's kind of thing, yeah. It's that 90s thing, but then I remember watching Jurassic Park on Blu-ray, and I'm like, this needs a better transfer.
Oh, Jurassic Park on Blu-ray, yeah. I mean, I watched Jurassic World yesterday, and it looks too clean on Blu-ray. It just looks like it could do with a little bit of darkness to it. It's just so polished, and I think that's
shot digitally.
Yeah.
But then I think Jurassic Park, I don't know what the 4K is like, but I always thought Jurassic Park has always looked better on, I don't know why DVD than it does on Blu-ray. On Blu-ray, it's just some better colours, and I mean, I don't mind film green, but it's all over the place.
I'll tell you what,
needs better transfer.
Well, I went to the cinema to watch the 3D of Jurassic Park. I swear to God, it looked absolutely beautiful. It looked like perfect.
Yeah.
It was really well done. I actually don't own the 3D Blu-ray, but I do remember watching his pictures thinking this is one of those films where it actually looked way better and it actually works for it. And it actually is probably one of the best 3D films I've seen as well.
Yeah.
Especially for a film that's been transferred later on as well.
How come the car didn't explode? Oh, there we go.
All cars explode when they crash.
That's a hell of a
yeah.
fucking cliff, that though, like to go off. I mean, it's a real stunt.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to explode on impact. Because it goes, maybe it's okay, then it explodes.
I think I'm ahead by a few seconds.
But
Boom.
it just crashed, like, literally now. For me.
Oh. Couple of few seconds, like. But then, yeah, but inside the house and stuff, it looks alright. It looks a bit colourful, but yeah.
I can see where they have cleaned it up, but I think it just hasn't been like. I would imagine they spent a lot of time on it.
I'm sure this is on 4K.
It has. Oh, it's been released on 4K.
Yeah, because I'm sure it's not that long ago.
It's on 4K. It's in the 2 for 30. Just takes.
Doesn't really. Never mind.
Gonna go for the toaster trick.
Very clever shot there,
Now,
because
would you-
how do you not see the camera guy in that fucking shot with the toaster?
Yeah.
Now, would you be able to do that toaster trick these days now? On the PG?
This would be a 12. I'm surprised it's not a 12.
Yeah.
Because suicides are like
That
a
alone-
massive.
Yeah, that alone, that shot there where he's just been hit by the vans alone, a clear statement. This is going to be quite a tough one.
Jeff Hardy.
It is, Swanton.
Even that shot there, I mean, it definitely should be a 12, like.
Is he just jump off, is he?
Aye.
What film do you think of when you see the cameraman?
CB4. We are in the car with MC Gusto, and we're about to be in a drive-by.
Simple
No,
Mary
it's
for
been
me.
something about Mary, yeah.
Oh.
Paul, I thought you would have said a scary movie too.
With his
I know
hand.
you just watched that recently.
Oh, is that 2
yeah.
years?
Oh, that's him, man.
Watch my head. Watch my head. My strong head.
My strong
Strong hand.
I've been squatting. I've been working out. Watch the fanny. He's the best thing in that film. Him and Tim Curry.
Yeah, that's the second one.
Now it's weird hearing Bill Murray saying, I'm a god, because obviously in the Ghostbusters, I mean,
Yeah.
Ray.
When someone asks you if you're a god.
So yeah.
That shows you how long he's been there. That lass is still sitting in the background as well.
Yep.
I mean, like I said, Mason, when he's having the food there, he did that scene, took the food away, cleaned him up, had a break, filmed the next bit, the next day.
Shit, man, that's Michael Shannon, that. The guy he's just talked to there. From,
The waiter.
No, on the right, sitting down the table, because they get married. It's, he's in Man of Steel and in Boardwalk Empire.
Oh shit, I know.
There he is in the
I don't
background,
know why.
in between them.
Yeah. Awesome actor.
The guy going out with Kim Basinger in 8 Mile.
Yeah.
Aye, because you get some tickets for WrestleMania. I would love a diner place like that. Something we don't have over here.
There used to be one in there used to be one in not Phoenix, but actually it might be in Phoenix.
Yeah,
in
Phoenix.
Newcastle.
There used to be a 50s one, Phoenix.
No,
It's
just
awesome.
like sort of like just like where you go in, like a diner over now. It's all just like, oh, it's McDonald's or it's KFC or it's just a takeaway. You can't just go in like, what do you want? I want a breakfast. You know, I want a dinner. You know, like I want a milkshake.
I want sausage, beans, and chicken. The biggest ones ever, or the most cheapest ones. And it's in town, in Eldon Square, where the bus concourse used to leave. There used to be a little cafe shop in there, and the best sausages ever. This was like before, like when the buses used to go underneath the bus. Eldon. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I like. Don't get us wrong. Miss working in the big Northumberland Street one, but I do not miss trying to get home and through Eldon Square and just city life of getting whatever you need on a daily basis. I just didn't like that. Like, he's a bit of a creep, like, isn't he?
Makes me itch. So now he's telling all the secrets and stuff.
Yeah.
All the stuff that he's going through.
Gobbler's knob.
Oh, turn away. No, that's one thing I've never ever done.
To a cat and a hat.
Yeah. I'm going to start doing it soon.
You've never lived, Paul.
Why not?
It's an endless game of entertainment. I mean, if you do it with somebody else, it's really fun. If you do it on your own, it's really depressing.
It'll just be me by myself.
Now, I hate to put it out there, but can you see this being redone?
It isn't. Look, no.
Not just a premise, but like actually someone remaking this film.
No, I think this one.
It's Sony.
I mean, it is timeless, like, but again, it would probably be a girl, just for like, like, what about Bob? Yeah. You know what I mean? But I think like it's perfect. It's one of those films. It's like Stand By Me. You're never going to remake Stand By Me because what is the point? The way that film was done, it's timeless. It looks amazing, and Rob Reiner, it's his childhood reflected into Stephen King's story, and like you just couldn't remake that. It's like Gone with the Wind. Were they going to ever bother remaking that? Probably not. There's certain movies, and I think this is one where it's captured perfect for that moment. Because if it was redone, it would be redone now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I can imagine it being something like a Netflix or a Disney Plus.
But again, they could even take a premise and make it into a TV show. But then, again, I was saying, Carl, I don't know if you were on the podcast then, but X-Files have not long done an episode like this where Mulder keeps waking up and his waterbed's broken. You guys keep talking, I'm just going for a wee.
Yeah. The premise itself is really easy to do. I just feel like, again, if they did it in this day and age, it would be like they'll try too hard. Whereas, like, the subtle changes that they're making in here are really, like kind of impactful. But I think of a modern day, like, mine trying to do it. Again, it'd have to be a girl, and like I say, they'll try so hard to make wild, crazy things happen every other day.
That'd be mobile phones and stuff. He'd be recording, going, "This was me today." To do like a vlog the next day, his phone's be like wiped or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think anyway, like, no, it's one of those films I watch like every few years. Just when he suggested it, I was like, oh, I'm sure I've got it somewhere. Don't know much about it apart from the Harold Ramis thing, like, but
yeah, because I don't really.
Yeah, it's just an easy watch, really.
Guess who's back? Back again.
Shady's back.
Mason's back.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
contribute something.
It's not a long film either, is it?
No, this is why I was curious when I rang you, because I thought if you started, you mustn't have started 5, did you?
No,
Yeah.
it was like 7 o'clock.
It's 101 minutes, mind. Well, that was it.
109.
Well, me and Paul have been wanting to do. We're going to do Robin Hood at some point, and we looked at it, and it was like a 2.5 hour movie. But for me personally, I think the Blu-ray has got 2 sets of commentaries. I think one of them's Christian Slater and Morgan Freeman.
Now, in this picture here, Costner went down to the.
So and it's got Kevin.
You said Morgan Freeman, not Stephen Hawking.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was Stephen Hawking.
But there's an interesting comedy track I want to listen to before I redo it, Paul. Is Kevin Costner and Kevin Reynolds, because obviously they had a big falling out on Waterworld. Have reunited since to do that Hattonfield and McCoys, but obviously I want to hear what they are like in the commentary, because obviously this would have been out after the falling out, if you know what I mean.
yeah.
Do. Says he broke it? No, he's not broke it. No, he's going to wake up alone again, isn't he?
We all do
Break
these
up
days.
with it, didn't it?
She's gone again.
We're just going to bash past that Paul comment.
That's been like me. Obviously, we're travelling around the world with Brittany waking up, especially that night she nearly killed us in Wellington. But like, I wake up now and she's just nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
Give us a wad of money.
This is in a
But
bit
does he really? He gives them nothing at all, because it all gets...
The thing is, right, he's just given him all that money he had, and now he's coming with cups of coffee. I mean, did he keep some extra cash in his socks or something?
That's how I dance on the bandstand.
What, dressed as a beaver?
Yep.
Well, a groundhog.
But that's a very American thing, isn't it? I mean, obviously I know it's played on films a lot, but Americans tend to carry a lot of cash with them.
Well, yeah, because obviously they're...
You see in film when they say, oh, I've only got a couple of $100 and as I say, I'm not if I've got a tenner in my wallet unless it's deliberate.
The thing, yeah, I mean, we get some people in at work, and they're always like, sort of like, you're a drug dealer or some fun when they pull out a wad of cash, still talking on the phone off the tracksuit bottoms. Oh, mate, here you gone. And you're like, can you not like get off the phone for 2 seconds to talk to us, please?
Because obviously in America they've got like dollar notes, don't they? Like the dollars are notes, that's why $40 are 40 notes. Which would be better for like...
Well, I remember as a kid we used to go to Scotland on holiday a lot when I was a kid, and I thought I was well rich when you used to fill your pockets with pound notes.
I forgot about that. No, I haven't been in Edinburgh for years.
Well, that's it. I mean, at the end of the day, the pences and all that, it's like we should live in a society. And the amount of inflation now, it's not so far to go like almost like 10 pence 20 years ago was a pound. Do you know what I mean? So have a pound note, and you don't need anything under a pound, because pence is almost like you only need that for like stock market in your bank accounts, isn't it? Just a round figure.
Well, listen, penny copper shouldn't exist in this day and age. It's just a waste.
I can't last time I use any cash, because obviously a lot of places only do cards now, so...
That's true. But I was like that in any way, to be honest with you. I've never been a cash carrier. I'm the dickhead who always goes out with, like, to meals and stuff like that and going, can I pay my half on card?
Oh, gotta hate people like you.
I know, honestly. I'm used to it. Don't even get birthday wishing or nothing like that these days.
No. No.
See, this guy Carl, he's in Armageddon and stuff. He was in quite a lot of films.
Big guy.
Aye.
What was that? I don't really recognise him.
He's the guy where he's...
Of course he is, man, the cowboy. Aye. Didn't recognise with hair.
Well, that's it. He's definitely going a bit... You can see his outline of his head. He's definitely bald in there, bless him.
Yeah.
Fucking Hubba Bubba.
Most popular chewing gum at school, that.
No, them eyes were, man.
The eyes.
The eyes, the Dracula eyes.
We used to have the really big, proper chewy strawberries, or it was always candy necklaces.
Oh yeah, you used to put them in your mouth and trick people.
Fling.
Oh yeah, they got banned them, man, didn't they? Imagine that in this day and age. It's not the fact that you're flicking it in someone's face, it's the fact that you're spitting saliva across the room.
Yeah.
And these days,
And you see that though, in the world that we live in, you know, we all three of us can sit there and go, oh, I remember the good old days when you used to get candy cigarettes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So, yep,
yeah.
that was it. A perfectly good brand of sweets that wanted to promote tobacco.
and like bubble gum with cards, like garbage pail kids and stuff. I don't get bubble gum cards these days. You just get cards.
I was going to say, I love a good old little card or white toys and cereal. That's a thing of the past.
Christ, yeah.
Guys, how about this? £5 notes, instant win, and Walker's crisp when you found a little blue packet.
Yeah, but do you know anyone who ever won one?
No.
I never did.
Tazos. What were Tazos?
Tazos. Oh, Tazos and the crisps. Oh,
Star Wars one. I used to have the Star Wars ones, all of them.
I had the Star Wars and the Looney Tunes.
Now, obviously in the film now he's being generous and he's, instead of being selfish, I'm going to be nice.
Oh no, this is actually quite sad for a comedy.
Again,
I
this
know
is
it's
why
not
it should be a
really comedy,
12.
but this is actually quite a heartbreaking thing.
Again, though, it's not resolved, though. It's like, right, why? Like, he never saves him as well. That's pretty insane.
Yeah.
I understand if at some point he was able to save him, especially, like, but again, it's kind of like, does he have to do everything to get that day absolutely perfect?
Yeah.
No, bless him. It is really heartbreaking, like, actually.
Yeah.
That's pretty good to give him. That means to look after him for a little bit.
Yeah.
Just gonna stick me tear up. Back in the eye.
Poached eggs. The poached eggs?
French toast, isn't it? No? What would?
I like the attention to detail that there's always a bit of snow around as well.
Yeah.
It's the first time it's shot at night time, isn't it? Oh no, second time.
Well, there was night time when they were dancing in the snow, wasn't it?
Ah, yeah. I've lost count how many days it's been. Now everyone's appreciating him. It's lovely. Changed as a man now, isn't he?
Oh yes, he's grown.
Is there extras on this Blu-ray?
Audio commentary.
With who?
Harold Ramis.
Oh, really?
A Different Day, an interview with Harold Ramis. The Weight of Time documentary. The Study of Groundhogs. Real Life Look. Deleted Scenes. Blu-ray exclusive Needle Nose Ned. Picture-in-picture track. Again, though, we didn't plan to do this one. Obviously, I would have probably tried to absorb the commentary, but yeah, the Blu-ray comes with quite a lot of extra features. I think the DVD, I've got the DVD, I'm sure the DVD did as well back in the day.
It came as a special edition, didn't it, to DVD? Yeah. It has a lot of heartless film, like it does.
Catching the tree out there. But again, though, I think this is quite a... Is it him who catches the kid?
Yep. Yeah.
No, him catches it. Does he actually catch the actor? Yeah. Imagine if he dropped that kid. Oh, there we go.
Our Mark.
Our mark for Paul Ray. Right, I'll quickly bring everyone back. So yeah, this is the new thing we've discovered with commentaries. Hi, there must be like an hour freeway. He's just jacking up his car.
Yep.
Shh.
Shh.
Mention it.
He's back. He's back.
Alright.
Hiya.
Alright.
Oh, then he walks in. Douche. Tell you what, that's something you should get taught at school, that.
I agree with that.
I once went to a first aid course for a fucking week. Like, bloody hell, and you know what I learnt off it? All you do is, like, phone the ambulance because you don't want to get sued. It's like, what? It's like fucking, you look at, like, they run about insulin pens, like, you know, what they went into loads of details about what it could be and all that, and like, obviously, in the end of it, the guy says, look, best thing you can do is ring 911, no, 999, or 111, you know what I mean? But that's the only thing you can actually do, because like, a lot of the people who do it get sued, or you get blamed for death.
The difference is, I mean, the rules change all the time. I mean, I've been a first aider for probably nearly nigh on 10 years now. And like I say, the rules change every other day. I mean, right now, if a woman is, say, having a panic attack or is having something wrong with her, and she's got, say, I don't know, like a paracetamol because her head's hurting, and she wants to take it, by law, you can't stop her taking it. Whereas for years and years and years, despite if you've got a broken bone or not, you cannot let them drink or eat anything, because as soon as they ingest something like that, they will not, or will more likely have massive complications if they do need to go into surgery.
So the operation and that.
Yeah, so I mean, now the rules have changed again, so now they're allowed if they've got them. But like I said, I think the rules apply that yes, an ambulance call is suggested mostly because the worst case scenario, an ambulance can turn out and go, it's alright, not needed. It's just the opposite way of going though. Imagine if you don't ring an ambulance and then they die, knowing that you could have done something. So I think they always strongly suggest you do something rather than nothing. But I don't know, like I say, I've had my fair share. Some which have been quite serious, and then some which have been, you know, kind of mediocre. But at the same time, there was a child that got smashed in the head at work with a swing boat, and the kid was obviously crying but walked away from it. But it was only because we suggested, regardless of how he looks, go to the hospital anyway. And they didn't go to hospital, but they went to the doctor the next day, and turned out the kid had a bleed to the brain. And they were so lucky to catch it. So that's why they say, doesn't matter what it is, just ring an ambulance, because they can always turn up and say, alright, we're not needed. Mental.
Yeah.
But then again, you put yourself out there. I mean, I've had, one particular incident, I've had the police come and check over my first aid form because there was an accusation that apparently a child was being hit by the mother's boyfriend, and she didn't believe the bruise came from a horse bite at work. So the police had to come to Beamish to look at my forms that I filled out on a day to make sure that an accident had actually occurred.
That's it, man. Best thing to do, ring 991. So back to the movie, he's just fucking pumped out a nice little upbeat jazz beat, which is pretty cool.
Yep. Do you think he played it? He seems like someone I know who would know how to play piano.
Nah.
No?
Actually, I don't know.
Just gonna go all negative there, you Paul. I'm gonna give it a thought.
Yeah.
Nah. You shit.
Well, then
Can't
obviously,
do stuff like that.
well, you got Dan Aykroyd and James Belushi doing Blues Brothers, so probably.
That's true.
Nah. It's gonna be nah from now on for everything.
It could be nah. like Steve Martin pulling this role off?
Yeah, Steve Martin would be a suitable replacement, I think.
I would imagine like his name must have been in the hat. Especially given this time with Ramos and that.
There's Michael Shannon there.
Yeah. Christ, he's young.
Tickets to WrestleMania!
Hope it's not for this year's WrestleMania.
Nah.
I tell a lie, we did agree the first half was alright.
Yeah, but yeah, it could have just been one night.
Yeah, totally. Well, apparently the rumour is that they might want to do a double from now on. Capitalise on it.
No.
Had some good films out in 1983. Really good films.
How then? Give us the rundown of 93 like we had with the Turtles.
Dennis,
Dennis.
Matinee, Tombstone, Free Willy, Robin Hood Men in Tights, Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit, Jurassic Park, Mrs. Doubtfire, The Fugitive, Last Action Hero, Falling Down, In a Line of Fire, obviously Mason said before, Demolition Man, Secrets in Seattle, a little film called True Romance.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that little indie film. Don't think
Yeah.
Patricia Arquette. She was a very pretty girl.
Married Nicolas Cage at one point.
Did she?
Who hasn't? Did he marry Lisa Marie Presley so he can live in Graceland because he's a big Elvis fan?
I mean, it would be a reason to say that, yeah, I would say so.
Oh, the bidding war.
I think that's sexist and degrading for men. It's terrible.
Like, well, at the end of the day, Paul, after we go out after lockdown, I'm going to do this to you. Right, take him home. For how much tonight?
Will it work?
6-pack Ray. I've tried to give Scott away at work a few times, haven't I? And like, some people have just refused.
I'll do the same.
What if you get like 500 points on your Pure card?
No, that doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, it's coming back.
Shows them in Spain. So she won for $339 and what, 5 cents or something like that. Well, this will be me. In a second, maybe when you guys are up to it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
$339.88.
Yeah, see, I'm a few seconds ahead.
As always, head of the curve. Ray.
Like I said, if you guys are up to it, you know which bump top of this would be me jumping on stage straight away. And they want to buy some more grannies.
Yep, you would.
Do you think Bill Murray just wears very much the same clothes in all these films? He didn't have, like, I always feel like he always has that, like, overcoat on and he's always got, like, a sweater or, like, a polo shirt or something.
Or suit and stuff. Jacket.
Buck and a half. Back in the day, there was many parts of America that would allow you to sell parts of your hunt ideas as payment. Hence why something cost a buck.
Thank you for that.
Hey, listen, did you know that? Did you know that wonderful fact?
No.
You're wiser today than you were yesterday.
So why do we call them quids over here instead of pounds?
Well, it's Latin, quid quo pro, something to something.
Something.
It is, that's what it is. That's your answer. Quid quo pro. Just another history lesson from Carl Maxoli. Thank you very much.
I've started getting. I was just going to say I've started getting reviews back for Land of the Long White Cloud, like before it's released, and I got this review the other day from a lad I know called Mark, and it was fucking priceless because like he's never done any like film reviews before, and he was on about shit in the bed and all kinds of stuff, and I was like, fucking hell.
It's definitely up Mason Street then.
Yeah, apologies, I haven't done mine yet. I haven't finished it.
Well, you've got the link. I don't think Paul's even watched one episode. We're friends, like, aren't we, Paul?
You wouldn't do something like that. That's like doing something with someone else, man.
I've been a bit preoccupied. Sorry, guys.
Well, you know what I hear, Paul.
People who
Excuses. Just keep hearing excuses, man. So no, I was about to say, wood drumming is not for me, apparently.
Oh, I tried it today.
I'm just not very. Well, it's not that I'm not very good at it. I would get better at it. I just don't have the hands for it. I'm got a steady hand.
Just give it a few days, see what you like, and then send it back to Amazon or something.
Oh no, I didn't even pay for it. I loaned my friend because he said, "Have a borrowed mine before you spend money." Oh, that was very wise.
Yeah. Very wise. Good job too.
I've always been like that. I like drawing, but I could never do like proper sketching because I've got too much of a wrinkly hand. I don't want to be quite but without it.
Yeah.
Some polystyrene, or is it real snow?
We talked about that earlier on. I think it's just polystyrene dropping in it.
Yeah.
And this is it, isn't it? It's just still there.
Yep.
And the hand comes across it.
Stand.
And the hand comes across to turn it off, innit?
Then you realise it's actually the cameraman's hand. Well, I've got
how do you process that though? I mean, that would be absolutely mental.
I think the nip of that thing.
Groundhog Day 2.
They could have done Groundhog's Day 2, you know. They could have at the time if it wasn't a fallout. It'd just be the next day, would just repeat itself. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again,
I think it would have to be like a mission of some sort. Like we'd have to have accomplished something because we've already done the whole. He's just wandering and he's just going through the motion. If they did it again, I think it would have to be you must accomplish this to get out of it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's snowing.
Gremlins.
It's one of the best things about Hook, that knocks on the door. It's snowing, and just slams the door shut in the face. It's fucking brilliant.
Are you going to be buying Super Shredder then, Mason?
Oh yeah, Super Shredder and Total on Razor.
I don't know the pictures earlier on, Paul.
Mason needs a razor. Bloody hell.
Ah.
Yeah, it's bigger than Santa Claus's. Sorry, go ahead, Carl.
Gonna say I'm the one to talk of.
I'm definitely going to paint some wood up charcoal just for the background, just a bit lying around and stuff on my little display, like. But look at the telephone under there. Telephone not taking priority. The alarm clock does.
We're not in a B&B though, would it? The other thing, like Americans have, I mean, they're not nearly well as built as ours, but they do always have like massive, like extravagant houses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I like the basements that they have.
Yeah, like I went to view a house just before I travelled, and it said cellar, and I was like, get in, it's got a cellar, and like I went in, and the woman was like, oh, there's the cellar there. So it was like a living room, and like a door, and the kitchen was above, like the next floor, and honest to God, right, it was like a small square, and that was classed as a cellar. I was like, that's classed as a cellar. Are you stupid? And they're like, no. And I was like, that's not a fucking cellar. Do you know what I mean? So this has been the podcast for Groundhog's Day as we fade to sky and Bill Murray's name comes up. It's great to reminisce this one. It's quite funny. I think we all agree it should be a 12 now.
definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we're going to go into Police Academy. So yeah, join us back for that. Thanks for listening for now. Goodbye for now.